Hello everyone. I hope so you will be fine. My name is Dr. Abid and again I have a very special topic for you. Today we will discuss one of the most important topic from the UPSC Mains regarding environmental impact. You know that this topic every year makes some highlights and attract some attention from different corners. Today we will see this topic from GS paper 3rd, Environment and Ecology, that how this topic is impacting the UPSC preparation and UPSC universe. Getting my points? First of all, I will show you the question. That question is that from 2016, this is one of the most and beautiful question, and it has some beautiful length. Today we will try to discuss this question through different approaches. Getting my points? Then we will try to find out the concept behind the question. To know the concept, first of all, we will try to break the question into many parts. Then we will try to understand the each and every part carefully. Because whenever we talk about the answer writing, so it depends on your skills and your hard work to give the best. To give the best, first of all, we have to understand the question carefully. This is our prime and the most important duty for answer writing. You know that rehabilitation of human settlements is one of the important environmental impact which always attract controversy while planning major project. Discuss the measures suggest for mitigation of this impact while proposing major developmental projects. 2016. Rehabilitation of human settlement. Rehabilitation of human settlement is one of the important environmental impact. Yes, you know that there are number of environmental impact, and this is one of them, which always attract controversies while planning major project. This is the phenomena, this is common phenomena when we plan the major projects. So there are number of hurdles we can notice over there. The second part of the question is saying that discuss the measures suggested for mitigation of this impact while proposing major developmental project. 2016. The second part is focusing on the measures suggested for mitigation. Now you have to think about mitigate. After Paris Agreement 2015, this word is a very popular in UPSC universe. How to mitigate the impact of climate change, how to mitigate this, how to mitigate that, how to mitigate those impact, how to mitigate these impacts. So this word is very popular just after 2015. And now this impact while proposing a major developmental projects. Getting my points? While proposing major environment developmental projects. Getting my points? So now you have to think about mitigation. So the question has the two parts. The first part is saying and highlighting the chronology of some kind of environmental impact, and the human settlement. And the second part is asking to discuss the mitigation steps. Getting my points? Now let's go toward the concept and find out the concept. Getting my points? So now we'll talk about the concept. So this is the concept. You know that in this question, the word is discussed is used. You know that. First of all, we have to identify the directive words in the question. So whenever we find the directive words, on the behalf of directive words alone, we can judge and we can understand the future steps, what we are going to take in the during the answer writings. So now you will notice over there the discuss word is the directive words. On the behalf of discuss word, we can now ready to understand what is going to over there. This require a balanced examination. This is the one of the most important thing, and you know that whenever discuss is used, so you have to understand that you must explain why rehabilitation becomes controversial. Why rehabilitation become controversial? I can give you number of examples from the Uttarakhand, from the Himachal Pradesh, from the Narmada Dam, Gujarat, and the number of other dams also available over there. Hirakund, Damodar Valley, these all are, even Kaveri and Mettur dams, their number of dams are available. So you know that when you construct a major projects over there, definitely the people will displaced. Now you have to settle over there. So why rehabilitation become controversial? This is the one of the most interesting topic. What mitigation measures are available or recommended? So now you have to understand the government policies, state policies, and district level policies. On the other hand, you have to talk about the indigenous people. Getting the points? Indigenous people. This is all happening in our societies. Every year you can find the best, some kind of case studies over there. Now let's move toward the next slide. So when we break the question, we find the most important stuff in this question. Okay, so first of all, you will find out there the statement. A statement is saying that rehabilitation of displaced communities is a key environmental and social concern in major projects. Sometimes you will notice over there the rehabilitation of indigenous people. Number of important things are available in news that Can Betwa interlinking project is one of the most and controversial project over there. So you can notice that what is happening over there. Controversies imply issues like forced displacement, inadequate compensation, and human rights violation. So something is happening over there. The indigenous people is being displaced. अब ये डिस्प्लेस जो हुआ है फोर्सफुली है या फिर प्यार मोहब्बत से है. दे आर टेकिंग सम काइंड ऑफ कंपनसेशन और नॉट. और अगर कंपनसेशन मिला है तो वो जा रहे हैं या नहीं जा रहे हैं. अगर नहीं मिला है तो डेफिनेटली यू विल नोटिस ओवर देयर दैट राइट्स ऑफ वायलेशन मींस फंडामेंटल जो राइट्स हैं उनका वायलेशन होता हुआ दिखाई दे रहा है. दीज ऑल आर important issues. So now what is the core demand? So you have to describe the mitigate the negative impact of displacement in developmental planning, like dams, highways, mining, river interlinking projects, or any government power plants, I mean thermal power plants, or any some special agencies. There are number of things you can notice over there. So these all are things are happening in our question. So when we broke the question, we find these all are things: statement, controversy, and core demand. Now let's move toward the what is being tested by UPSC. Getting my point? So now you will find that you have to be aware about social and environmental aspect of development. देखो बेसिक सा रिक्वायरमेंट है. इफ यू आर अ सीरियस यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट, सो यू मस्ट बी अवेयर, या सम social and environmental aspect. Getting my points? Whenever we talk about that environmental impact, environment, quality of environment is degrading. You know that the forest play a very important role for flora and fauna, ecosystem, biosphere reserve. So you must understand that we should protect the forest area. Getting my points? You know that what is the role of rivers in our lives, and now you know that many rivers flowing in through the cities of India have a very major troubles. Getting my points? So now you must understand that what is the importance of river, है ना? इस चीज को भी आप लिख लीजिए. And then number of things are also available over there that you must have the social and environmental awareness regarding, ठीक है, these all kind of stuff. Next one, rehabilitation policies. Okay, you must know that rehabilitation policies, best practices and ethical consideration should be, ठीक है, written in your answer writing, ठीक है, or in your mind. The third one you will notice over there, your ability to propose balanced and practical solution. Number of time I have suggested that you should adopt analytical approach. Analytical approach is a current demand of the UPSC. UPSC wants that you should give and you must give some advices, some suggestions, solutions, and you should highlight the issues carefully. Step by step भी कर सकते हैं. Getting my points? So now let's move toward the model answer. You know that in every class I show you the model answer, and before showing the model answer, I give you some important suggestions over there. You know that this is our answer sheet. During answer writing, we should remember some important steps over there. Okay, you know that when we start our answers, we should start our answer from the introduction. And you know that intro should be around 2 or 3 lines. They are enough. And you know that intro should be valid, logical, argumentative, getting my points, and relevant to the question, and highlighted the issues over there. And you will notice over there that you should not use unnecessary words. Getting my points? Extreme views. Okay, and you should not use your self-generated knowledge over there. And getting my points? So this is the introduction. The second part is that man body. What is man body? You know that whenever we talk about the man body, you should remember that it play a very, very important role. Why? Because you have to input, you have to write each and everything regarding policies, regarding issues, etc. And always remember, in man body, you will use the factual accuracy over there, the concept clarity over there. Getting your point? Language, general non-lingo. You should use the simplified language over there. Getting my points? Your language must be simple and your language must be easy. Means if I am reading your answer, so ऐसा ना हो कि मुझे रॉकेट साइंस का यूज करना पड़े, मुझे किसी एक्सरे मशीन और अल्ट्रासाउंड मशीन का यूज करना पड़े उस लिखावट को समझने के लिए. तो इस चीज का भी आप ख्याल रखें that you should use the simplistic way of writing. ठीक है? The next one, you should your writing should be clear. Means your writing should be clear. ऐसा ना हो कि आप MBBS के डॉक्टर बन जाएं और समझने वाला कभी ना समझ पाए. So remember my words that you should use the clean writing. Getting my points? And on the other hand, you should follow the presentation of answers. Getting my points? The presentation of answer. The way of presentation. How you are presenting the answer बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है. Getting my points? ये बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है. ये बहुत जरूरी हो जाता है. Getting up a way of presentation of answer. During answer, you should remember headings and subheadings over there. This is a very, very important thing. Means if you are highlighting the issues, तो भाई उसमें कुछ तो बताओगे ना. अब आपने heading ही नहीं दी, subheading ही नहीं है, ये है. During heading and subheading, you should remember points, subpoints. ठीक है? These all are the most important things. In next one, you should use diagrams and maps. So always remember diagrams and maps बहुत अच्छी चीज है, आपको अच्छे मार्क्स दिलाने में बहुत अच्छा इनका योगदान होता है. On the other hand, you will find out there that you should use your, ठीक है, these all important areas to get the maximum marks. Getting my points? So means logical arguments should be, ठीक है, included in your answers. Must be clean. Language simple होना चाहिए. Concept clarity आपके माइंड में होना चाहिए. And you will link these all important area with current affair. Getting the points? And when we talk about the conclusion, this is the third part. So you must remember that you have to give the analytical, ठीक है, way या analytical answers. Means your answer should be, ठीक है, suggestive. Your answer should be, ठीक है, some kind of advisable. आप क्या दे रहे हैं? Getting my points? So during answer writing, you have to remember these all important areas. But you know that it is very difficult to remember these all areas. बहुत मुश्किल है भाई. Very difficult to hold this all important areas. So the question is that how to understand and how to remember these all important areas. देखो बड़ा बेसिक सा फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट है that you have to be in practice. In starting, you will write the answers in 20 words. I mean 400 words or 500 words. हो सकता है 600 word भी लग जाए. But after the long practice, you will realize that my question is concising rapidly. Means I am saying that you have to adopt these all important things in your in answer writing. So means during या after practice you will realize that I should concise my answer. तो मैं यही तो कह रहा हूं, your answer should be concise, precise, accurate. ठीक है, and you should adopt the accuracy over there. Accuracy play very important roles. Means even 7 to 10 minutes, in 7 to 10 minutes, ठीक है, how much, ठीक है, accuracy you are giving over there. So your input plays very important role, है ना. So please make sure practice बहुत जरूरी है. Do practice every day, night, because you have to crack the UPSC and it should be your dream. Now let's move toward the model answer. So you can understand over there that I have taken almost 4 lines. So I will show you that how words are used in introduction. Large scale developmental projects as a dams, highways, mining operations, industrial corridors often require land acquisition. Getting my points? Which leads to the displacement of local communities. Rehabilitation or resettlement of these population is a major environmental and social impact that frequently leads to controversy due to issues in inadequate compensation, cultural dislocations, and lack of participation. You know, these are the issues which I highlight in my introduction. And you know that in middle I use rehabilitation and resettlement of these population is a major environmental social impact. In the first lines, you will notice I mention the major developmental projects and ठीक है, I mention land acquisitions. Recently, you will notice over there in Delhi झुग्गी झोपड़ी, ठीक है, जो है दिल्ली में, उनको सबको हटाया जा रहा है. Now the land जो है दिल्ली का उसको वैकेंट करवाया जा रहा है. अब आगे क्या होता है, because displacement of people हो रहा है. एंड यू नो दैट रिहैबिलिटेशन एंड रीसेटलमेंट दिल्ली का इस वक्त बड़ा मुद्दा बना हुआ है. नॉट इवन दिल्ली, यू विल नोटिस ओवर इन फरीदाबाद, गुड़गांव, नोएडा, गाजियाबाद. ठीक है. नाउ लेट्स मूव टुवर्ड द मेन बॉडी. व्हाई रिहैबिलिटेशन इज द कंट्रोवर्शियल? लुक, I selected the few important words and you will notice over there loss of livelihood and identity. This is the most important line. देखो सिंपल सी बात है, displaced people, especially tribal and rural communities, often lost access to forest land and traditional occupation. Inadequate compensation. Financial packages may not reflect real land and value or long-term income loss. Number 2, Number 3, lack of participation and transparency is another important thing. And you will notice over there, delay implementation. And rehabilitation often lags behind project execution, leaving people in limbo. Getting my points? So you know that 4 important areas I mentioned in this slide. Measures of mitigation. And you will notice over there, I choose the most important headings. अब ये heading आप देखेंगे, these headings are attracting. ये भी आपको याद रखना है. Measures for mitigation, comprehensive social impact assessment. You know that this is another important thing, social impact assessment. Mandatory under right to fair compensation and transparency in Land Acquisition Act 2013. Identifies affected population, livelihood and community resources. So first I mentioned the comprehensive social impact assessment. In second line, your headings, participatory planning. Number 3, fair and adequate compensation. Number 4, livelihood restoration. So measures of mitigation, I mentioned these all important areas. So now you can easily understand that what kind of measures right now we have. And another measures is that before rehabilitation displacement, I discussed special provision for vulnerable groups, inadequate monitoring and grievance redressal, and last, sustainable and in situ alternatives. So in measures, when we talk about the measures of mitigation, so I discussed almost 7 important lines. So these all lines are highly important, and every heading is the attractive things. Getting my points? So now let's move toward the conclusion. So now you will find out there that these all kind of conclusion, just we have to check what kind of words we used. While developmental projects are essential for national progress, like I mentioned, national progress means importance. They must not come to the cost of human dignity and social justice. So in the second line, I added human dignity and social justice. You know that in the first line I mentioned the importance, and the second line I also mentioned the human dignity and social justice. Effective rehabilitation is not just an environmental or economic obligations, it is a moral imperative. So I suggested some kind of sympathy over there by incorporating inclusive, transparent and legal, robust rehabilitation resettlement policies. The negative social impact of displacement can be significantly mitigated, ensuring development is truly sustainable and equitable. In the last one, I suggested some suggestion over there. I mentioned some values, human values over there. On the other hand, I used the importance of the major developmental project. So these all things are in my conclusion. So you have to remember that you have to conclude your answer with these all important steps. So you know that this is enough from this side. I hope so you will understand what kind of things you are going to adopt right now. Okay, so अगली क्लास में मिलते हैं आपसे किसी अच्छे टॉपिक के साथ. See you soon. This is enough from this side. Thank you.